It's a little dusty and old, but
looks really nice with the boots on.
thanks.
Yeah.
It's a strange product, but it's something that I sort of specialise in almost by accident. There seemed to be a demand for certain products that involved storing Wellingtons and footwear and things, so a lot of my business is devoted to that. And I use pine, as you can see, and then I also use oak, which is harvested locally from local forests, so it's quite eco-friendly. And yeah, I do a whole range of oak products too.
So what's kind of essential about this space for you to work here?
Well, I mean, obviously, without my workshop, I need my machines. Those are the most important things, and then everything else has to sort of fit around them. I have to be very organised in where I put my machines and where I put my materials, because generally it needs to be as efficient as possible. So yeah, that's the most important thing, is my machines, and then obviously my health has to be considered at some stage if I'm really busy and it's there's a lot of dust. I just have to be very organised.
Yeah, so there's no way you could be in one space with
no.
instead of you need to have two spaces that
You
can be
do.
separate.
I originally just rented the one room, and I had my sort of desk in the corner of the room. This was, I mean, I've bought more and more things as I've sort of been more established. So I originally started off with like one drill and a sander and a series of really small hand tools, and then I've sort of grown and grown. So that room was initially the only room I had, and everything got covered in dust. And when you have a lunch break and you have to sit at your desk eating your lunch and it's covered in sawdust and everything, it's really not very nice, and it can get a bit sort of depressing. So I decided to rent this room as well, and yeah, it's much better to have somewhere to sort of escape to and do your office work, or talk to someone on the phone and not have to be blowing dust off of everything. And
yeah, I can see that immediately.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is really like an office space for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's only a desk, but yeah, basically when I sit here, this is a place to sort of organise my paperwork and do my invoices and everything. Yeah, I've got to get internet in here as well, which is really handy.
Because you take orders through the internet.
I do. I have a website where I do a lot of sales from. I basically sort of 90% of my sales probably come from the internet.
Really?
So it's a very important thing. And then I print everything out, and sort of do all my finances and everything in here as well.
So you don't do any work at home, really?
No, I try not to, but it does mean that I end up sort of living at work, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't like to work at home if I can help it. That should be a place for me to relax, I think.
So you keep all your files here as well? Or?
Yeah, in here.
You have a file cabinet?
Yeah. All my receipts and my invoices of sales and everything are all kept in there. Yeah, it seems to be sufficient for that.
And this space here, that's for?
All the orders that I take, I print off, and then I place on this table, and it's basically an easy way of me to see exactly what I need to do in the next few days, what needs to be made, what needs to go out, and then once I've made it, I take the invoice off and I place it in with the product, and then I file it away in my filing cabinet, so it's all sort of a process again. But then also I have various other things, this is sort of a bit of a mishmash of various things. Obviously I need boxes to pack everything into, so I have to have a pile of boxes somewhere, and then unfortunately my materials have spilled out into my office space as well. But yeah, it's given slightly more space, then it probably would be more organised, but it's the best I can do at the moment.
What's that thing there? This kind of ladder?
It's one of my products from a more conceptual sort of period, I suppose. I do commission work as well, so I get to do some fairly strange things too. So that's sort of reserved for shows or shop displays and things like that, but obviously when it's not in a show or a display, it has to go somewhere. I haven't got space for it at home, so I've got the tables and things here as well, just waiting for somewhere else to put them, really. So yeah, a lot of it is just storage of things which are waiting to be used or waiting to go somewhere.